Welcome back to, for those of you who didn't see me this morning, my name is Maria Lewis. I am a physiotherapist. I've been a physiotherapist for almost 30 years this year. I am co-founder of Reach Your Peak, which is an online exercise platform app community for people with Parkinson's in the UK. I'm also a director of Adaptive Fitness Training. That is a company where we deliver courses for exercise professionals to teach them the fundamentals of exercising somebody for Parkinson's so that they can go out in the community and do their absolute best working with you guys. So that's me. And so this morning, I spoke briefly about what happens in the brain when we have Parkinson's and what happens in the brain when we exercise for Parkinson's, and hopefully got across the idea that we really need to reframe exercise. It's a treatment for this condition. It's more than just getting stronger. It's more than just getting fitter. It's more than just getting more flexible. It's more than improving balance. What we do when we exercise for Parkinson's, we're exercising the brain. And as a result of that, there are neuroplastic changes that occur in the brain. And when these changes occur, what we're actually doing is slowing progression of this condition. So this is really, really key. It's a key factor to treatment and staying well and living well with this condition. And so everybody needs to do something. But I'm going to start with this phrase here. It ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. And it so is that. And that's what when I teach exercise professionals out there, when they come to on our course, I'm not there to be prescriptive and teach them a set of exercises, or anybody with Parkinson's when they come and see me or they exercise with us on the app. It's not about teaching you necessarily a set of exercises. What I want to teach are the principles behind that movement and that exercise, so then you can go and apply it to whatever you enjoy doing. Because the best exercise for your Parkinson's is the exercise that you're going to do and that you're going to stick at and you're going to enjoy, in inverted commas, for the rest of your time and rest of your life. It has to become part of your life, and that's what's really key. And maybe what you're doing now, in a few years' time, you might want to do something different. So you're on a journey with this condition. We're all on a journey with you when we're on this condition, with this condition. So things will change. It is progressive. It will change. So your requirements of your exercise and what you do will change, but the principles behind it won't. And that's what I want to try and get across to you today, is just some of those principles that lie around exercising our brain when we exercise for Parkinson's. So at Reach Your Peak, we talk about 4 key elements of exercise. And I'm going to go through each of them individually. But they are power, accuracy, amplitude, and something that we call energetic demand. And I'll explain a little bit more on each. So power. So at Reach Your Peak, we define power as the maximal effort in purposeful movement. So that means that when we move with so much effort. It's not speed. It's what I want you to imagine is that you're trying to recruit as many muscle fibers as you can when you do that movement. So as you do that, you're recruiting your maximal amount of effort and power in that movement. So let's have a go. Let's just try and go from where you are now sitting, and can you just all of you just stand up for me? Just show me a stand. Lovely. Oh, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. That was lovely. Okay, right, and sit back down. I'm going to grab a chair because I'm going to I'm doing a demo, a little bit of a demo. I'm kind of free winging this really. I had some ideas of what we're going to do, but I'm just like, as usual, I'm always winging it. Right, so yes, so we did a nice sit to stand, but when we stand with power, I want you to really think about that stand. So normal, sit to stand, nose over toes, we know our weight has to come forward, and we come up into a standing position. When you stand with power, I want you to really push and stand with plenty of power. So it's a really explosive move, and you're going to stand up nice and tall. Let's have another go at standing with some power. So 1, 2, 3, and stand. Yay, I love it. Much, much better. Well done. And back down. One more. Are we ready? 1, 2, and off we go. Power up. Good, lovely. Great, and sit down. Okay, so yeah, good. So that's power. So it's maximal effort through purposeful movement, and we almost need that ground reaction force. So I want you to feel your feet on the ground. And actually, if you're at home, and it's safe to do so, sometimes actually having our shoes and socks off, and often, and you might go to see a physio sometimes, and it always baffles me. Sometimes, they won't even take your shoes and socks off, and it's so important that we do that, because in doing that, what we're giving you is some proprioceptive feedback. So you need to feel that floor, you need to feel those ground reaction forces, and it's that feedback that's going to allow you to move a bit more with power and be more aware of where your feet are in space. So that's power. Right. Accuracy. So when we talk about accuracy, we talk about correct and precise purposeful movement. So what we see in Parkinson's often is that people really lose that fine motor movement, the dexterity. So like this gentleman here, buttoning up your shirt can be really, really challenging. Typing on a keyboard, a lot of people I work with are still working, and they find that a real challenge. If they're in a desk job and they're having to use a keyboard, they find it really, really difficult and challenging to be able to do that. But that's around loss of accuracy. So we need to apply some accuracy to the movement that we do. So again, when we think of accuracy, when we do a movement, and I'm going to just do a demo again. When we do a movement, like for instance, one of the exercises we like to do is a starburst. And if I'm doing a starburst, I'm going to use my fist, and I'm going to use the power in my movement, and I'm going to punch down to the floors with my power, but at the same time my fist is closed, and that's when I go from here, I'm going to come back up to starburst, and I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to open my hand. And I'm going to think about the accuracy in my movement. So I'm going to ensure that this fist gets down on a diagonal to the floor, and then it's going to come across my body, and when I come back up, I've got an open hand. And it's really, really important that we have accuracy in our movement. It's working our proprioceptions, it's making ourselves bodily aware about where our limbs are in space, and it's really, really key. It can be really challenging. So I've often been in an exercise class with people, and I've said, right, okay, and then we'll take our arm out to the side to shoulder height, and somebody will say, let's go, oh yes, yeah, fine, and they're like this, and I say, is your arm at shoulder height? Yes, my arm's at shoulder height. And it's that loss of proprioception that comes with Parkinson's, that inability, the proprioceptive feedback, the loop to the brain. And I spoke about the brain this morning, and those connections between our muscle and our brain through our neural circuits, our neural pathway. It's slow. That feedback is slow. So we may think we know where our limbs are, but they're not quite where they think we are. We can help with that by working with a partner. So, for instance, what's your name? Bill. Bill was telling me earlier about your boxing that you do with Tony. Absolutely brilliant. So when you're working with somebody with boxing, it's really good being able to work in a pair. You're going to get that feedback straight away, and just to be sort of told, okay, yes, your arm is at the right height, or no, you need to move it up a little bit. It's having that bodily awareness. Also, when I have people who work at home and they don't have anybody else to pair up with for buddying with exercise, then we may use a mirror. So again, they're able to get that feedback to make sure that their limbs are where they think it is. So using our mirror, using a buddy to exercise with. I mean, having a buddy to exercise with is really important for many reasons, but it's really good when we're looking at accuracy of movement. It's about being present in the movement, making sure that that movement is accurate. Really, really key. We're thinking movement. We're using our brain as we work out. And the final movement part of this is amplitude, and we define it as the maximal range of purposeful movement. So with Parkinson's comes this recalibration of the brain. Everything becomes really small, and we'll notice that. We'll notice that in a lack of arm swing. We'll notice that in our stride length. As somebody walks, their strides will get much shorter. So we'll lose that inability to swing their arm. We can even see it in things like handwriting. So micrographia it's called, where your handwriting becomes very small as well. So your world is becoming small. So when we exercise, it's really important that we introduce big movements. So we want full range of movements. Those movements need to be big. So again, when we look at starburst, we're coming down as low as we can, and we're coming up, and we're stretching as big as we can. We're making some really nice big movements. So make sure that whatever you do, there has that element of bigness in it. So we've got power, we've got accuracy, and we've got amplitude. They're three key elements to make any exercise, any activity Parkinson specific. And then the final piece of the jigsaw is the energetic demand, because we are exercising your brain and not just your body. So I touched on this morning, aerobic intensity is important. So that's an important part from as far as the research is concerned. Getting your heart rate elevation gets a release of brain-derived neurotrophic factors. They are chemicals which are in our brain, which improve the chemistry of the brain, make it far more plastic and open to change. So aerobic intensity is really, really important. But equally important, if we only have aerobic intensity, but we don't cognitively challenge with, and that could be complexity of movement. So that could be, for instance, let's get you moving again for a minute. Hang on. I'm going to turn it off. I do that. Oh yeah, thank you. We'll have some music. And eyes on cue, Tony. I love him. So let me think. So if we're going to think about complexity of movement, I want you to try. Don't whack anybody. Well, I don't know, maybe you need to stand up for this. So we're going to do a movement which we call cheerleader. So we go out, forward, forward, side. Right, who can do that? Imagine that you're moving round a clock. Have a stand up. Come on. It's the afternoon. We've got to get moving. Okay, so we're going to go side, forward, forward, side, side, forward, 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 forward. Come on, how are we doing? All right, once you have mastered this, I want you to see if you can add in some leg movements. So forward, forward, other side, forward. Oh, it's very hard. Yeah, we're all working our brains. Isn't this fabulous? Look at this, it's really tricky. Good, okay, have a sit down. Well. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't do that, because you've got to play that beautiful harp afterwards, so please don't do that. Okay, amazing. Can you see? It's challenging when we train the brain. It has to be challenging. If it isn't challenging, it isn't treating your brain. So that's really, really, really key. So yeah, we have to have that complexity. And guess what? You don't have to get it right. In fact, if you're getting it right, it's too easy. We've got to make it harder. I want you to be like, oh my God, this is driving me nuts. Because I know that's driving neuroplastic change then. So that's where we need to be when we're exercising for our brains and when we're exercising for Parkinson's. It's really, really important. You've got to think the movement. You've got to have complexity in the movement. We've got to get heart rate elevation as well. So all of these key elements need to be all present in order to drive those changes in your brain, which we're after. Now, Tony very beautifully added the music in. I want to just touch on music. Music is really important too, because it will help you cue for movement. In Parkinson's, we sometimes, some days you'll find it's really difficult to get any movement. When we cue, so if that could be just like a strong beat, a clap, but music, if the music's got a strong beat, you can use that beat to move on the beat, and you'll find that your movement will come far easier. So get your tunes on. Doesn't matter what they are. Just find your favourite tune and use that to move. And actually, you can use that with walking as well. If you get those days where you're really, really struggling to actually stride out and move at a pace, you know, lots of people we find have very short, shuffling gait. If you've got music on with a nice strong beat, then that ability to move to that beat, you'll find it's like a switch. So have a play around with it. Find the track that works for you. And just, I mean, where else? What a beautiful place to be able to, perfect flat surface to practice these things and get out there and get moving. Absolutely key. I don't know if I've got any more slides, I can't remember. No, that's it. So, yes, any questions?
I was just thinking music, on the subject of music, it's good for mood as well.
Yes.
You know, so it will make you feel more motivated and positive.
Yes. So, dopamine is really important with movement. But dopamine has another role in Parkinson's, or lack of dopamine has there is a reason. So one of the non-motor symptoms of Parkinson's is apathy. Low mood, apathy, fatigue, but apathy, this feeling that you just can't be bothered to do it. You know, you just don't have that internal drive. That is not you being lazy. End of. I mean, I've had so many people that have said to me, you know, or their family members have said to me, oh, it's like they've had a personality transplant. I'm nagging at them all the time and they never want to do anything. There is a reason. It's the dopamine. It's the lack of dopamine. Somebody with Parkinson's will never really be internally motivated to do anything. So therefore we need to externally motivate people to do things. So music is a lovely way of doing that. Finding that track, having an accountability buddy is really lovely. It's a way of doing that. Scheduling exercise is a way of doing that. Going to an amazing community class, whether that's your boxing or whatever, dance, whatever it is, you know, whatever you can. It's really important to understand that you need that external motivation to actually do anything. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's your Parkinson's. You're not being lazy. It's just you don't have that internal drive anymore. But you need to put in the measures to have an external motivation, external drive. And that's, yeah. And those are some of those measures. Yes?
My wife, she's joined a choir.
Oh!
I can't sing.
Doesn't matter. Amazing, yes.
I enjoy it.
Do love it. I love it. So that's fantastic. And what kind of choir? What kind of?
It's the Westminster musical theatre choir. So stuff from musicals.
Oh, perfect.
It's in the Waffle Cafe, if you know Axminster.
I don't know this area very well at all, but that sounds. How many of you are in the choir?
28.
Wow. And are there other people with Parkinson's?
There's one lady, I haven't been going that long, there's one lady that shakes a bit, so I think she probably has got it. So I'll have to befriend her and find out.
Yeah.
I'll just ask her, so.
Oh, well, do you know what? Choir, singing, you know, we talked about lifting your mood. There's nothing better, is there?
It does make you feel good.
Plus, you are exercising your voice.
Yeah.
So many people I meet with Parkinson's, that's a real problem for them, is their loss of voice, loss of volume, and loss of quality of speech. And singing is the best possible thing for that. So I'm delighted. So yeah, I'm delighted you do.
Outside walking football.
Brilliant.
But even that was too dangerous, so it broke my leg.
Oh, did you?
It was me and the men, me and the boys.
Oh, you and the boys. There is a female walking football team. There's only one Parkinson's walking football team called the Pioneers. And the lady that started that was in Cornwall, actually. She's in Cornwall. But they're the only all-female walking football team. But there's a big movement in the UK now for Parkinson's walking football. So watch this space if that's what you enjoy. Was that a Parkinson's specific walking football?
People with Parkinson's and younger 70s.
Okay.
So I went with my husband. He's kept it on.
Did you?
I gave it up and went to the choir.
Well,
Safer.
safer, yeah.
We're called the Coffin Dodgers.
Oh, yeah. Well, your football team is?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. The Coffin
We're playing
Dodgers.
Honiton on a
Okay.
Wednesday night.
Brilliant. Oh, are you looking for recruits? That's what.
Dodgers.
Oh, I love it. I love it. But yeah, do you know what? Like I said, it's about finding your thing. And then also, that's a really important. It's recognizing when maybe you think, oh, enough now, I'm going to do something different. However, I would encourage you to do some exercise for your balance, if balance is a problem. If you had a fear of
Go to
falling.
the gym twice a week. So.
Brilliant, brilliant. So gymnastics. What sort of, the gym? What gym?
The gym, yeah, but it's a sports therapy gym.
Right.
In Westminster, so the machines are different to a normal gym. It's sitting down all the time. It's exercising your legs and your arms, but it doesn't really do my balance.
No, won't do anything for your balance.
Makes me stronger.
Yes, which is good, but it won't work on your balance. So there's some really easy exercise, you know, the best place to do balance exercises is in your kitchen, because you have this lovely work surface that's really fixed and it's not going to go anywhere. So you're going to be safe on that. So yeah, come and see me afterwards, and I'll give you a few balance exercises that you can work on at home, and then weave that into your day. Brilliant. Any other questions for me?
I can imagine dance classes for Parkinson's would be the only one where women would be outnumbered by the men, I should think. So, you know, but also, from my own experience trying to learn dances, it's the memory demand and just the whole, the brain just seems to be running full pelt. So, yeah, I reckon dancing is.
Dancing is brilliant. So Parkinson's UK, just at the end of last year, had this launch, and I think it's coming. Am I allowed to say anything? I don't know. I will anyway. I'm among friends. So they definitely had a launch at Parkon last year where they had, what's her name now? Correct, thank you. Angela Rippon, because she's done a lot for the dance for Parkinson's, but they've got, now you're going to have to help me with names again, I'm rubbish with names. Who is the head judge on Strictly, the female head judge? Shirley Ballas has choreographed a dance for the Parkinson's UK that they will be launching. And it's all, so I don't know what's her, isn't it rumba and all of that is her? I don't know what style it is or anything. But yeah, because you're right, it's got everything. It's got that cognitive ability. You can get you can work really hard, can't you, with it? You've got that combination. So yeah, dancing is fantastic. So if dancing is your thing, then apply those principles and get out there dancing. But the same, yoga, we've spoken, haven't we, already today about yoga. Again, that's an important part of your prescription. So currently the overall research, the overall prescription we talk about is 150 minutes a week of aerobic intensity exercise. It is a full-time job. Then 2 to 3 days a week, non-consecutive days of strength training. Flexibility work, stretch, 2 to 3 times a week, but ideally daily integration. And then balance as well, ideally daily integration. So this is a huge prescription. I think, honestly, it could be a full-time job just exercising for your Parkinson's alone. So we have to be practical. We have to understand that as little as 10 minutes is enough of the right exercise. And you need to sit down and plan what my program looks like and how is that going to fit into my life. And then once you've got that, you'll probably spend a while doing that, and then everything will change again, and you'll have a bad day, and it all goes out the window. But, for every bad day, the next day is another day, and you may well find, and if you're having a bad day, rest. Don't feel bad about that, because rest is as important as exercise. Your brain is working twice as hard as anybody else's, and you will get neurofatigue as a result of that. And that's fatigue beyond just feeling tired. That is an absolutely overwhelming feeling of tiredness that even when you rest, it won't go. So that neurofatigue, that brain fatigue is just because your brain is working so hard just for you to function. So please don't feel bad about having a snooze in the afternoon, doing some meditation, relaxation, breath work, whatever it is, just to try and turn that brain off and give it a rest. So that's important too. That's it. My time's up. I'm here all for the rest of the... Thank you. I'm here tomorrow as well, and for the rest of the day today. So if any of you want some individual advice, want me to have a look at what you're doing and how we can add to that, then just come and talk to me.